Hello, Jerome here, and welcome to the third day of CRAPMAS 2023. Santa still has 10 more gifts for me, so let's find out what he got me. Yay! I guess I'll go with this one. Couldn't hurt, right? Ooh, a Genesis game. Huh. Beavis and Butthead, the video game for SEGA Genesis. Well, I mean, I love Beavis and Butthead, and I love the SEGA Genesis, and I guess this shouldn't be too bad, huh? Let's find out.
SEGA Genesis. I loved how some of their logos had animations pertaining to the game. That was always like a fun thing. It's like felt special.
Pull my finger. No, wait.
Beavis and Butthead. Created by Mike Judge, who of course you might know from King of the Hill or Idiocracy or a bunch of other movies. I don't think anyone's going to say Extract, but that was a decent film too. But yeah, this was a show on MTV where you had a bunch of kids, the youth, listening to music videos. I like the menu here where they show the older versions of Beavis and Butthead. They actually based some of the new season's flash forward episodes on those designs, so that's pretty cool. So just like the Super Nintendo version, the boys want to go see Gwar, which is pretty fucking awesome. But they need to get tickets for it, and they have tickets, but then the neighborhood dog eats the tickets, vomits up the tickets, and then Tom Henderson, their neighbor, rides over the tickets with his lawnmower, and yeah, it's pretty intense. This whole opening is I like the art style. Obviously, it's not going to be like animation, but it represents the cartoon well enough, especially like in the mid 90s when this game was made. It's a pretty fun premise. It gives it a bit of a quest, but still something that the boys would actually do. I also like the recreation of their iconic living room. This is pretty fun. Graphics-wise, this game is pretty on point, especially for the era. One thing that's weird is they start you off with Beavis. I feel they'd start you off with Butthead, since he's usually more the driving force of these characters. However, Beavis has a front attack, the burp, whereas Butthead has a back attack, the fart. So you sort of have to turn your back on enemies to attack them, which really slows down the action. So all the locations from the story segments of the show are pretty much here. Here you have Beavis's room, because they are in Beavis's mom's house. And yeah, you have to take... one of the characters takes the remote and chooses the level. This game sort of has an item system. It's kind of like a weird adventure game, but it only has a slot for one item or one attack. So if you want a character to hold an item, namely the remote that gets you in and out of levels, basically that character cannot attack anymore. So you have to switch to the other character. So if Butthead, for example, takes the remote control, which you absolutely need for every level, he then has to let Beavis play the game, which is kind of dumb. You have like your attack and your attack and your item. I especially if it's the item that lets you get into levels. Can you imagine Crash Bandicoot if you couldn't spin because you had to like hold on to an item that lets you go into the levels? That feels a bit counterproductive as a design. Other than that, this is one of those classic 90s everything wants to fucking murder you game. So basically like a Mighty Max or all that stuff. Everything that's on screen that moves that isn't your character sort of does damage to you pretty much. I already found some tickets. Cool. All right, that should be really cool. Oh, what? Huh. Okay, a lot of one-hit kills in this game. You do have some health, at least, but a lot of things pretty much kill you in almost one hit. But I'm just going to go through the levels here. Tom Anderson. I remember playing this game earlier on when I was younger, and if you beat Tom Anderson, you get the keys to his shed where he caught the boys whacking. So yeah, that's where you caught those young beaver and buffcoats whacking it in the shed. So yeah, enemies are a bit on the bullet. Enemies are on the bullet sponge type here, so it takes really a long time to kill them. But then the exit of the level was just there, so by pressing down, I exited the level and I respawned the enemy, so I'd have to fight him over again. And of course, he killed me because, yeah. Oh boy. Well, at least the boys can get a good workout in front of the TV there. I do like the idle animations. Once again, the highlight of this game is the graphics. Even compared to the Super Nintendo version, which is more of a straight up platformer where you just choose your levels and then you just go from A to B. Here, it's really like again, it's like a weird point and click. So in point, the burger world, you have to find certain items to get other items. For example, you'd have to find a way to get this guy to eat a nasty burger. I forget what the nasty burger in question is. I think it's a fried rat burger, like in the episode, which is like from 1994 or something. So that's I'm going by memory, but I think it's at the dumpster. I'm not sure. Yeah, this chick just won't die. And then there's like this skateboard enemy. Like why would I go down to the road there where it can attack me? There's no point. It's just like taking away space from the level. There's no reason why there's a street with like enemies in the street. Next level, let's try out the hospital. So you have to get in the hospital. Once again, everything's trying to kill you, including the hospital staff. So that's gonna be fun. Let's go. Huh? A nice cuckoo's nest reference here. You know, because the young nihilistic Generation Xers would really be into Nurse Ratched. Ooh, a fun level section. Let's give it a try. If I can. Okay, so a staple of the 90s video game, the vehicle level. Oh, it's once again one-hit kill. You really cannot make any mistakes in those games, which is really funny because their main target audience were like MTV slackers, like the kind of people who wouldn't be able to like just memorize Mega Man games because it'd be either too stoned or wouldn't care that much. But yeah, that sucks. All right, let's try the school. It would have been fun to be able to have like multiple lives in the levels and not be kicked out of the levels or kicked out of the screens every time you die. That would have allowed one to practice them. In this level here, the enemies respawn a lot. So you just have to be very quick and this is cool. Coach Buzzcut, but it's like a mix between Coach Buzzcut and the teacher from Daria. It's I don't know if you've watched Beavis and Butthead, but Coach Buzzcut has one of the funniest scenes ever where Beavis and Butthead are legally required by the school to not laugh, and Coach Buzzcut decides that that's the perfect moment to teach them sex ed with all the proper words. Let's talk about masturbation, and then the boys can't laugh, but they're trying their best not to. So yes, the drive-in. All right. Okay. I can't. Okay. Again, fine, whatever. It's an adventure game kind of thing, but a map would be fun. I know a lot of modern games today have like objectives, go do this, go do that, and people feel like it's a bit hand-holding, but this game here just gives you nothing. You sort of have to figure everything out. And then, oddly enough, you can go to the last level, which is the Guar concert. And yeah, no, okay, well, at least that makes sense because, you know, you're supposed to get all the ticket stubs together to become tickets so you can get into the Guar concert. So I guess, but it's kind of weird that they allow you to select it from the start here. TLDR, the game has a nice presentation, but it's just so confusing what to do.
And so we found out how childhood depression began. Anyways, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow and we'll open another one of these guys. Yay!